Oh man, is this thing live? Are we live? Are we live? Little impromptu live stream for you guys, discussing the trade deadline, man. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm gonna wait for people to come in here, and I know that sometimes the ads start to roll out, and then people aren't able to see me introduce the stream and stuff like that. Let me put my headphones back. I'm disappointed, man. I'm not gonna lie. I am disappointed. Now, I've had multiple conversations with a lot of people on Twitter or a lot of people on YouTube comments, Instagram, wherever I really talk sports or talk Giants. I've gotten a lot of mixed comments, and my head as far as the trade deadline goes in a lot of different directions, whether it be the Giants being buyers, not heavy buyers, but somewhat to kind of provide some bandages to the roster, along with maybe finding some assets that you can keep around for a number of years. And then the other side of the coin, I was thinking more like, hey, the Giants should just sell, sort of like what we saw the Jets do today. Although the Jets situation is a lot more different than the Giants situation, the Jets are in an absolute abyss right now of nothingness. To be honest with you, it kind of is. It sucks to be a Jets fan right now, and even though it's hard as a Giants fan, I would say the Jets just have no direction right now. A lot of people really like Aaron Glenn, but seem to not have much out of it. They've had a couple of games where they scored a lot of points and look competitive and scrappy in games, but bottom line, they don't have a franchise quarterback right now. They have like Justin Fields, who's borderline a starting quarterback. I don't even think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and they're kind of making do with him. And so, to prepare for their future quarterback, they're going ahead and getting rid of a lot of assets that have been there a while. You look at Quinnen Williams. He's been a staple for their defense for a number of years now. I forgot what draft did he come out in? Was that Quinnen? Was that 2018? Was Quinnen 2018, guys? If I'm not mistaken, no, 28. No, 2018 Sam Darnold. Quinnen Williams, 19? He's been in the league for a while. Quinnen Williams has been in the league for a while. Oh, snap. I didn't see all these comments here. Holy moly. I didn't even think that this much people are. Oh, my gosh. We got like 78 people in here already on YouTube and Twitter. Shout out to everybody. Just wanted to talk about the deadline. I am disappointed, man. Sleepy Joe at the wheel. That's what I should have named. That's where I should have named the. I'm gonna rename my title here. Sleepy Joe. Because listen, like I said, the Giants are in a spot where you don't really know what they should actually do. We're fans. We don't know what direction they should take. I don't want to keep talking about the Jets. Let's move on to the Giants now. You don't really know if they should be buyers or sellers, but do something. Like, have a plan. I really just feel like Joe Shane and the Giants, just when the season rolls around, they are just completely done. They just close up shop, and they don't want to do anything more than have a couple of tryouts for players that I've never heard of in my life, guys that are literal like Walmart and Amazon workers, grocery baggers that have had some sort of career in college and just giving them a chance to. That's not enough, right? And you can say, well, look where the Giants are at right now. Why would they go out and trade for a big piece, a big wide receiver, a big cornerback like Sauce Gardner? Why would they go out and do that with the state of this roster? That also falls on Joe Shane. Guys, we are 4 years into this regime, and this roster, there should be no reason we're 4 years into this regime and we're saying, oh, the Giants are just in no position to make a splash trade right now. 4 years? You're telling me it takes more than 4 years to go out there and try to go all in? I'm not saying that's what they should have done right now. That's not what I'm saying. Don't hear what I'm not saying. What I'm saying is the fact that this roster is not in position to make a splash trade, because if you go out and trade for 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner with this Giants team, what are you really doing? You know? So I understand that. But the fact that the Giants are in this situation right now is on Joe Schoen. And I think it's ridiculous. I hate that we're hearing news that Brian Daboll is going to be the guy to leave before Joe Schoen. If I believe it should be a package deal, right? I believe it should be. I think the Giants for too long have done we're firing the coach, keeping the GM, we're firing the GM, keeping the coach thing. For far too long, the Giants have been doing that. So they need to go ahead and hire as a package deal. Hire and fire as a package deal. But if you keep one of the other, why keep Joe Schoen? Let's keep in mind, you can say Joe Schoen drafted Jackson Dart. Let's keep in mind who was really gunning for Jackson Dart. That was Brian Daboll. We don't know if Brian Daboll was not the coach for the Giants. It was some other coach. We don't know who would be at quarterback right now. We're not for certain that it would be Jackson Dart. We're not for certain that we would even trade it up for a quarterback. Right? It became a little bit more of an obvious thing that the Giants were going to trade for a quarterback because we heard more news about it. But there was a possibility that the Giants just didn't do that. The Giants have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They didn't need to go out there and get Jackson Dart. I mean, with hindsight being 2020, they did, right? But still, the Giants doing nothing at the trade deadline, whether it being buyers or sellers and just staying stagnant as they've done this entire regime, tells me they need to go, man. Enough is enough. I like Brian Daboll. Everybody knows that. I'm a Brian Daboll fan. I'll defend Brian Daboll when he needs defending. I don't spread propaganda for him. I don't like him as much as I like Micah McFadden. You know, Micah McFadden is the best linebacker in NFL history. There's some propaganda for you. But if Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll are indeed a package deal, Brian Daboll is not enough for me to say not to get rid of Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen needs to go. Joe Schoen needs to go. We just saw, guys, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys something. Okay? You guys were crazy. You guys were crazy. You guys said I was crazy when I talked about this Adonai Mitchell trade, right? When I had this trade scenario. I'm going to share my screen. I have so much tabs open. I always do this. I do so much like article reading. Give me a second. I have like so much Twitter tabs open. I just gotta shorten it down to one. So when I share the screen, there we go. All right. If you guys are seeing on my screen right now, this was my trade scenario back in, when did I put this out? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? October 14th, I said, and it didn't necessarily need to be this, right? This is just my idea. Now, I wound up giving up way too much value for what A.D. Mitchell was actually traded for. But this is what I wanted. I wanted Adonai Mitchell. The writing was on the wall. He was going to get traded. Okay? This kid is in his second year. All the talent in the world to be a good wide receiver, whether it be attitude issues, whether it be production, he doesn't know the playbook. I don't know what it is. He's been a healthy scratch, has not been part of the Colts game plan for a while, and they've been winning despite of him, which tells you everything you need to know. He is going to be traded by the deadline. And I said this, everybody's talking about Jalen Waddle, everybody's talking about Chris Olave, DJ Moore, all these other receivers. I said the Giants aren't going to splash big for these type of guys. They're going to want to try to get as much, as much worth as they can with as little as possible. And I said A.D. Mitchell is a perfect candidate. And a lot of people told me I was crazy. That that A.D. Mitchell wouldn't be like a day 3 pick. A.D. Mitchell wouldn't be, some sort of, high high capital to get rid of because he's in his second year. Oh, KB, even though he hasn't done much, he'll still cost like a third round pick, second round pick, or something like that. This is what I would have wanted, and I think it makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that this should have been what happens, right? It could have been anything, but do something. Do something. So you got Darius Slayton plus a 5th round pick. Maybe in hindsight, that's a little too much, being that what A.D. Mitchell was actually traded for. Okay? What A.D. Mitchell was actually traded for. We'll get into that in a second. But Darius Slayton and a 5th round pick, it could have been like a 7th round pick. Who knows? But Darius Slayton to reunite back with Daniel Jones, and they can up their receiver production, right? They have Michael Pittman, they have Alec Pierce, but they could use a Darius Slayton. If they wanted to pay him the money and go all in, go ahead. And then the Giants receive A.D. Mitchell, and then build with him, with Jackson Dart, and develop him, and try to use him to the best of their ability, because they're already needing a wide receiver, right? They already need a wide receiver. And I'm sorry, Ray McLeod, Bo Collins, Lil Jordan Humphrey, I would take A.D. Mitchell. I would give up a 6th round pick, 5th round pick for A.D. Mitchell right now. Right now. And let me show you guys what A.D. Mitchell was actually traded for. Most teams don't trade with 2 and 17s and find value. They do trade with bad teams. Look what the Jets just did. The Jets just made... Now, they're taking a lot of risks here. Don't get me wrong, right? They're taking a lot of risks. But let me show you guys the Sauce Gardner trade. All right, for those of you guys that may not know. Give me a second. Let me see. Let me find something that has all the compensation here. Let me find... I wanted to show all the compensation. Okay, I guess this is fine. This is fine here. We'll like Adam Schefter here. All right. This is what A.D. Mitchell was actually traded for. Look how I don't want to say worthless. What's the word I'm looking for? He's not valuable. He's not valued. He wasn't valued. Colts receive Sauce Gardner. The Colts just I'm trying to highlight here. I think my screen went frozen. My computer just froze. I hope I'm good here. Now I'm good here. All right. The Colts received Sauce Gardner. Okay? One player. The Jets receive a 2026 and 2027 first round pick. That to me is already overpaying. Sauce Gardner's great. He's good. He's awesome. But that to me is already overpaying. If you're not getting some sort of pick swap there, maybe the 2026 and 2027 first round pick for Sauce Gardner and like a third, Sauce Gardner and a 4th and 6th, something like that. You're getting two first round picks for Sauce Gardner, and there A.D. Mitchell was used as a cherry on top. A.D. Mitchell, the Colts were like, hey, we got this receiver here. He's just sitting here. You guys have receiver issues. You guys need a wide receiver. We'll give you one right now. Just take him off our hands. A.D. Mitchell was used as a deal sweetener. This kid could wind up being a decent receiver in the NFL. I'm not going to go out as far to say he's going to be a top 15 guy. He could be a decent receiver in the NFL, like a decent number 2. And this guy was traded in his second year in the NFL as a deal sweetener, a cherry on top. And you're telling me Joe Shane and the Giants couldn't pick up the phone and see what was up with A.D. Mitchell? A second-year guy? You already have a young offense that you want to grow with and develop, A.D. Mitchell would be a perfect guy to be behind a guy like Malik Neighbors? I'm not even necessarily saying you got to get rid of Darius Slayton. If you can, do it. But you're telling me you couldn't pick up a guy like A.D. Mitchell? And I had this conversation on Twitter a couple of times where they're saying, who would you want to have traded for? It's not about who I would want to have to trade for. I'm not in pro scouting. That's not my job. The Giants have a whole department for pro scouting. There is a secret list, the trade block, right? That is not open to the public. That all these other NFL teams know about. They know who's available, who's not. And even if you don't know, you go up and you pick up the phone and you make some calls. How are the Giants this incompetent to sit here and you have a defense that has a 7th round rookie who you cut? You drafted this guy and you wound up cutting him. And you bring him back on mid-season and you start him in an NFL football game. And a 1st round bust that should not be on the football field. You're okay with that? Oh, and don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on Jackson Dart in the offense. I'm tired of this. Oh, but Jackson Dart has 15 touchdowns, guys. It turns out he doesn't need the receiver help. So you're okay. You're okay with the notion that Jackson Dart needs to fight tooth and nail, blood, sweat, and tears to get down the field and score. You're just gonna leave him out there like a like a little puppy out there trying to play with the big dogs. And he is a big dog, don't get me wrong, but trying to compete with nothing. And say he has 15 touchdowns, he's fine. He has 5 touchdowns to the same dude that can't catch a football. Theo Johnson. 5 of his passing touchdowns are a tight end that is not reliable. That is my point. They're not reliable. If you think that that's okay, go ahead and look at the final minutes of that Denver game. Because I promise you, if the Giants had any receiver help at all, good receiver depth, we win that game. We close out that game. On 3rd down, when the Giants decided to throw it, we would convert. That's what teams do. Do you think teams, all NFL teams, when they're running out the clock on 3rd down, 3rd and long, they're going to keep running the ball? I can point you countless times that teams have thrown the ball when they're trying to burn the clock. Because they're trying to lighten up the box so they can keep running the ball. Go look at those final the drive where Jackson Dart was able to get downfield. The offense was able to get downfield through penalties. One of them was a bogus penalty that I will admit. That penalty on Bo Collins was it Bo Collins or Jordan Humphrey down the field? And it was Riley Moss. Can't remember. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 200 people in here, man. That's awesome. Shit. You think Jackson Dart doesn't need help because he has 15 touchdowns? Go watch that Denver game. Go watch towards the end of the game when the defense had to lock in. When the Denver defense had to lock in. And look how easy it was for them to shut down his weapons. And you're telling me, well, it appears that Jackson Dart doesn't need any help. He wasn't able to get down the field in crunch time. He's not able to do that because he has no fucking help. Quarterback draws aren't going to lead you down a field in a 2-minute drive in crunch time trying to win a game. Doesn't make any sense. I don't care if he has 15 touchdowns. You're asking your rookie quarterback to become Tom Brady and lead your team with practice squad players, a 5'8 receiver, and a tight end that cannot catch. It's ridiculous. You're telling me you wouldn't give up a 6th round pick for A.D. Mitchell? Now, whether or not the Giants actually were able to be successful in that is one thing. Pick up the phone. I better hear there's reports that the Giants picked up the phone on somebody and wasn't able to pull off a deal. I will respect that. Because at the end of the day, this isn't Madden. You got to get the other side to say yes. We need help. Everybody's saying this season doesn't matter. You're right, this season doesn't matter. But this season means a lot more than 2023 and 2024. In 2023 and 2024, we had nothing at quarterback. We have a future franchise quarterback right now. Yes, this season doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. They're 2-7. This is a Jackson Dart trial year. This is where we get to see what Jackson Dart can do. So you want him to fight tooth and nail and limp his way into the end zone every fucking game? I don't want to see that. That's not entertaining. I have to worry about my quarterback, my future franchise quarterback, getting hurt all the time because he's trying to put the ball, he's trying to get the ball downfield, and he has to constantly call his own number because nobody's getting open downfield. Go look up the statistics of how long Jackson Dart holds the football. How many times have we seen it? How many times have plays have been made off script because nobody's getting open on their routes? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I don't want to, and you know what? I'm hearing it from people I respect. I'm hearing it from people I respect, and I mean no disrespect to those people. I mean no disrespect to those people. But what are we doing? Why are we treating this franchise quarterback like he's a freaking, like he's a vet, like he's Joe Flacco or something? Oh, it doesn't matter who he has downfield. At least he has 15 touchdowns. It appears it's not the receivers. It is the receivers. Think about, it's not just the receivers, but this offense would be a lot better. Think about how much weight you're taking off that quarterback's shoulders. If you have a good receivers, you're able to compete at the final end minutes of the game. Because when that happens, like what Denver did, and they lock in and they stop your receivers, what do you have? Oh, I guess we gotta chuck it downfield and hope for penalties. That's what this roster shows. That's what this roster is capable of. And that's how they try to move down the field. Hope and pray they can get downfield with penalties or draw, luck of the draw type plays. We don't have anybody that scares you on offense besides Jackson Dart. Who scares you? Our offensive line is okay. Who scares an NFL? You think Wan'Dale Robinson scares an NFL team? They don't. He doesn't. There are players you could have traded to gather picks so you could use those picks in another way. You don't, guys, a lot of people think that, why would you want to get rid of Jalen Hyatt and Deonte Banks, Evan Neal, if you could move those guys? I think you could move Deonte Banks for like a 6th-round pick. I really think you could. Oh, KB, why would you want to do that for a 6th-round pick? It's not about the 6th-round pick. It's about getting the draft picks are currency, ladies and gentlemen. They are currency. You can use them to get other players. If you're in a pinch, you have an extra 6th-round pick. Use it to go get some veteran that isn't getting playing time on their specific team and bring them onto yours. And you have help. Look at what the Eagles are doing. I know they're a winning team and they're always going all in and they make these splash trades that the Giants shouldn't be doing right now. But they always have picks. You're looking and you're like, how do the Eagles have this many picks? That they're constantly trading picks for players because they're constantly selling, buying, selling, flipping their players for picks, flipping their picks for players. That's how you do it. Don't stay stagnant. What is it doing for this franchise? What is it doing for this team? What is it doing for their jobs? You think staying stagnant is helping their jobs? I don't know what's going on in the organization right now. I don't know what's going on in the building. Maybe Bob Papa and Carl Banks could tell you something about it. I don't know what's going on over there. But I can tell you one thing. As far as the outside looking in, it looks like you're just going with the motions for another year. You had 2022 where you made the playoffs. 2023, it all goes to shit. That 40-0 week 1 game. Andrew Thomas gets hurt. And then automatically it's like, well, guys, we tried. I guess we're going to have to see what happens next year. And then 2024 comes around. We get rid of Daniel Jones. Well, guys, season's over. We don't have a quarterback. I guess we'll see what happens next year. You guys, we can't do this all the time. You can't do this all the time. Only bad teams say, "Oh, we'll fix all our problems in the offseason. We'll wait till the offseason to make some adjustments." Why do you always have to wait till March of every year to fix your team? Why? Doesn't make any sense, man. Real quick, guys. Real quick. You know what I'm saying? Gotta pay some bills, you know what I'm saying? But, guys, check out Sleeper. This was an impromptu stream, but want to give a quick shout out, guys. They've been taking care of us over here, and some of you guys have been using Sleeper heavily as well. So shout out to you guys and using my promo code 27Squad. 100% match up to $100 on your deposit. Really, the best sports app in the world. Their news is instant, guys. Their news is freaking instant. When all these trades that were happening, it was popping up on my phone like the minute they were happening. I was never kept out of the loop. So shout out to Sleeper, and I use them for fantasy as well, as far as more or less pick slips. So shout out to Sleeper. Make sure you guys check them out. But anyway, continuing on, man. Continuing on. Look what the Jets are doing. I just had a conversation on Twitter yesterday with multiple people because I was saying that the Giants better do something. And they're saying 2-7 teams shouldn't be doing anything. Or 2-7 teams shouldn't be buyers. Right? The Jets were majorly sellers, right? Because they got a lot of compensation, right? They got rid of 2 really good players that they had on defense in Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. But they still got players too. You know that, right? They got A.D. Mitchell. They got Mozzie Smith. They were able to acquire, right? And reset, right? Because Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner were due to make some. I mean, Quinnen Williams was already on a big contract. Sauce Gardner, they traded him early, but they were going to make some, pay some big money to him. And if you're rebuilding and you don't even have a franchise quarterback yet, you know what I'm saying? Go get as much picks as you can and prepare for your quarterback. I want to show you guys something, right? Let me see if I can find it. Giants cap space 2025. I'm in 2026, sorry. I need to find 2026. I want to show you something that just boggled my mind, everybody. What was it, like bad teams, caps, space, 20. I wish I would have like bookmarked this or whatever. I hope I find it. Here we go. Found it. I thought I wasn't going to find it. I don't think it was necessarily this person, but it will suffice. I want to show you guys something. So all the people that think that the Giants shouldn't have been sellers, I'm about to like say something really controversial in a second, so stay tuned. But I want to show you guys this. Okay? How the really bad NFL teams stack up with the cap room for 2026, including carryover and full roster. The Titans, 95.3 in cap space. The Jets, 86.4 in cap space. The Raiders. The Jets, 66.1 million. Guys, this is without trading their play. This post was made 2 days ago. This is before they traded Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. This number is going to be higher, right? The Cardinals, 33. We're going to skip over this team. The Browns, 18. The Saints, 21. The Dolphins, 25. The Giants, with one of the worst rosters in the NFL right now, at $5.7 million in 2026. The Giants are expected to build around a franchise quarterback with like no depth on the roster at all. We have some good starters. We have no depth at all. And we're expected to make something happen with $5.7 million next year. That means the Giants are bound. They have to do something next year. They have to. Why couldn't they have done it now? And this leads me to my next point. Guys, I would not have been opposed because of what's going on with Dexter Lawrence right now. I would not have been opposed to listening to what teams would say about Dexter Lawrence. Listening to it. Not saying I would actually do it. But there comes a point in time where you look at the cap space and you're saying, what the F are we doing with all this cap space? The Giants are 2-7 right now. And look how much cap space they're devoting to this roster. And they have a record of 2-7 to show for it. At least these other teams, the Titans, the Jets, them having all that cap space tells you that they're not paying anybody big money, so they suck, right? It only makes sense that they suck. The Giants are paying $30 million to Brian Burns, $27 million to Dexter Lawrence, almost $30 million to Andrew Thomas, all right, $12 million to Darius Slayton, $19 million to Paulson Adebo, $14 million or something around that range for Javon Holland. Oh, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Sorry guys, I need to start listening to the chat now, but I just wanted to rant on that before I lost all my trains of thought there. Just wanted to tell you guys that real quick. $5 million to a kicker that plays 12 games. Exactly. And we're paying a lot of money to Graham Gano. And that's the reason why the Giants don't want to move on from him, because they're paying so much money to him. And they're like, well, we're committed to him. Might as well throw him out there. I don't care about it. Daboll's money doesn't count towards the cap. I don't care. It's not about how much the coach makes. Give me a second. I don't like it. I don't like that the Giants did nothing. Like I said, I wouldn't have been mad with either, right? I think the only players that are untouchable, right? The only players to me that are untouchable, obviously, is Jackson. I'm talking about guys that are not on the. No, matter of fact, yeah. The only guys that are really untouchable to me is like Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors. Who else on offense? Andrew Thomas. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Brian Burns. Kayvon, because I just don't know if we would get enough for Kayvon for the role that he provides. Kayvon, Micah McFadden, you can't get rid of Micah McFadden, bro. He means a lot to this organization, bro. Paulson Adebo, Javon Holland, obviously you just got him. You're not gonna trade him automatically, and literally that's it. Who else, guys? I'm not. Dexter Lawrence, no. Dexter Lawrence, you guys have to remember something, okay? Look what the Jets just did. They just got rid of their franchise defensive tackle. And Dexter Lawrence isn't having nearly a year that he's used to having. I would listen to offers for Dexter Lawrence. 2 first and Dexter Lawrence, yes. I'm sorry, I don't care how much you love Dexter Lawrence. I love Dexter Lawrence. I think he is a staple for this franchise. I think he's a true New York Giant. If somebody offers me 2 first-round picks for Dexter Lawrence, we'll always remember you. Once a Giant, always a Giant, right? You got to think about the team. And I know it sucks to get rid of players that you love and you want to win with those players, but you can't hold on to them forever, especially if you're a 2-7 team. There is no reason why the Giants is devoting this much cap space to a roster that is 2-7 right now. There's just no reason. What did Dallas give up for Quinn? A second round pick this year and a first round pick next year. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I don't know if it's fair for Dallas though, because I think the Cowboys have a lot of issues. I think more so on the back end of their roster, the back end of their defense. I think it's more so those cornerbacks that are absolute ass. And I know they're not getting any pressure, and I guess Quentin Williams really provides some interior pressure, but giving up a first round pick for I don't know. I think the Colts did a really good job though. They are going all in right now, and they've drafted pretty well in years. Well, actually, I don't even know about that. Their drafts have been really hit or miss, but they get production out of their players. They have good coaching over there, man. Good coaching. So they got rid of 2 first round picks for Sauce Gardner, and that's been really a big Achilles heel for them, is finding a true number 1 corner, and they went ahead and got him. Eagles got Jalen Phillips. I know, man. Freaking nuts. And the Giants are sitting here with their thumbs up their asses, man. And to be honest with you, maybe the Giants wouldn't get 2 first rounders for him because of the year he's having right now. Or maybe a team just looks past that and says, hey, that's one bad year after a number of great years from Dexter Lawrence, and we believe we can get him to that playing level again. Then a team would offer 2 first rounders. But I guarantee you guys, as much as you love Dexter Lawrence, if a team really said, I'm going to give you 2 first rounders for him, there's not one of you that would say no. Dexter Lawrence has not provided any impact this year. And we don't know if it's ever going to get better. He's coming off of an injury, an elbow injury that keeps him from block shedding, that keeps him from punching, right? Elbow injury, your elbow means a lot to a defensive tackle. You're trying to push multiple 300-pound men out the way to get to a quarterback. He's double-teamed all the time. I'm sorry, guys. I get it. He's double-teamed at a high rate, and we're expecting him to beat those double teams, but we've already seen that he can do it. You know, those expectations come from somewhere. We've already seen Dexter Lawrence absolutely demolish double teams and be productive and have 9 sacks through a season. He had 9 sacks last year, and he didn't even finish the season. And he was double teamed. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed except his production. He's been a non-factor. And I'm sorry, if we're going to have a non-factor on the team, I'm not paying him $27 million to do so. I'm not necessarily blaming Dexter Lawrence right now. I'm just saying what's in the best interest of the New York Giants. I'm not blaming Dexter Lawrence for having a bad year right now, but him having this down year really makes you think, if Dexter Lawrence continues to play like this, why are we paying $27 million for him? And you can say, well, guys, he's just being double-teamed. KB, he's just being double-teamed all the time. Well, that's fine. Go be double-teamed and get paid $27 million somewhere else. He won't be the same until 20. I guess that's what the Giants are. I'll tell you one thing right now. I'm okay with keeping Dexter. I'm not sitting here banging on the table that the Giants should have traded Dexter Lawrence. I'm sure the phones rang for Dexter Lawrence. Whether or not they listened, I don't know. I'm happy we still have Dexter Lawrence. I am happy. But I'll tell you one thing right now, guys. If Dexter Lawrence continues to play like this and he is just cannon fodder for offensive linemen, right? Or he's cannon fodder for the Giants defense. He's a guy that's just, hey, he's the guy that's going to be double teamed while it frees up Brian Burns and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau if he stays on the roster, right? If that's all Dexter Lawrence becomes, then we got to get rid of him. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $27 million for cannon fodder, right? I'm not trying to disrespect Dexter Lawrence by saying that. You know, he's doing what he can. You know, he's beating his, statistically, he's beating his one-on-ones. The problem is he's always double-teamed. And right now, he's at a state right now that I know is from injury. It's got to be from injury. That elbow is bothering him to the point where he's not beating those double teams anymore. He's not quick off the snap anymore. We are the guys. We are dead. We're almost dead last. We are competing with the Bengals right now for who can be dead last. We are just about dead last in the NFL in stopping the run. Okay? And I know a lot of different factors play into that, but it's not like we're doing a great job in between the tackles stopping the run. It's not like we're doing a great job doing that. You already know, Lonnie. You already know. 41 means so much to this team. We don't miss him, and hope we don't bring back. He was, yo, Lonnie. I don't even know if that was English, to be honest with you. But I thought you said 41 means so much. What do you mean? What do you mean? Micah McFadden is a beast. We need 41 back. We need 41 back. Yo, give Micah McFadden a $100 million deal over 6 years, baby. Lock him in. Lock him in. And then where do the Giants go from here, right? Where do the Giants go from here? If you don't want to be sellers now, fine. But I guarantee you, if there's a new GM here, guys, I guarantee you guys, if there's a new GM in this building next year, and we're in November, right at the beginning of November, and Dexter Lawrence is still just cannon fodder for the defense, he's going to get traded. He's going to get traded. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Steven, what are we doing here? Steven, come on, man. Come on. You know, listen, look what this defense is without him. Look what this defense is without him. They need help. They need the king back. Jordan Tyson looks... Yeah, listen, and I'm not opposed to drafting a receiver again in the first round. I said this on Young Guns. By the way, guys, at 8:30... All right, listen. I want everybody right now to go into the description right now. Go into the description and subscribe to the NFC East Roundtable. We're going to be talking about what happened in these games and, of course, the trade deadline on the NFC East Roundtable at 6 p.m. Show up, please. I need help. Right? I need my Giants Nation there. But 6 p.m. I'll be on the NFC East Roundtable. It's the best roundtable. Listen, the Roundtable has a podcast for every single division. We are the best. we know how to make entertaining content. But and I'm sure we're gonna talk about all that stuff. So guys, at 6 o'clock I gotta go because I'm gonna head to the NFC East Roundtable, and then on the Young Guns podcast at 8:35. On the Hubs channel. A lot of you guys don't know that we're doing that podcast again. We are back. Some of you guys don't know that. And now that we have like 250 people in here, and now that I have you guys in here, the Young Guns podcast is back, guys. I don't know if you guys know that. On the Hubs channel, we're doing it on his channel for right now to try to get his watch time hours up. We're trying to get Kush back into it. But we're going to be talking about that too. What do the Giants do from here? Guys, I'm not opposed to getting another wide receiver in the first round because it's best player available. And if Jordan Tyson or Carnell Tate winds up being that best player in the draft, that where the Giants are drafting, I would do it. I would pair up Malik Neighbors. The thing is, you have a young Jackson Dart, a young rookie, young franchise quarterback that you want to provide as much weapons as you can around him, you know? I probably would draft Carnell Tate over Caleb Downs right now just because of positional value and the fact that you have a young quarterback that you can get a lot out of. And to everybody's credit, I had that whole rant about the 15 touchdowns thing, and a lot of people that I do respect were giving me that 15 touchdowns argument that the Jackson Dart doesn't need any help. To their credit, they're not necessarily saying that the Giants shouldn't upgrade and get help for Jackson Dart. They just want to wait till the end of the season to do so. And I say, that's fine, but can we just do something? Instead of the best we can do is Ray McLeod, or the best we can do is bringing up Bo Collins. The best we can do is throwing out our failed third-round pick, Jalen Hyatt, that has 3 catches on the season and can't run a route. This is the best we can do for you, Jackson. You know, to their credit, I know they're not saying always have no help for Jackson Dart, but still, I'm just upset about that. What's up, Kyle? Let's start reading the chat here. You guys know Super Chats always get read priority. Super Chats always priority. Let's see. I got a lot of chats here. Holy moly. I can't go through all of them, guys. But just keep chatting then. Keep chatting. Or Super Chat, and maybe I'll see it. KB, the Giants aren't like the Lakers where shit falls into their laps like Luka and for a bag of oranges. I know. Well, honestly, that's just good GMing. That's just good GMing. Having stuff fall into your laps and being able to fleece people is good GMing. That's what Howie Roseman is doing with the Eagles right now. And you can't just go get to Howie Roseman's level, right? You can't just start flipping players automatically. There's a process, right? You have to start selling, then buying, flipping, selling, buying, flipping, selling, buying, is a process. And Howie Roseman is so far ahead of every other GM. That's why everybody's like, yo, how the hell do the NFL allows Howie Roseman to get away with this? Because he's been doing this for years. He's so good at it already. Selling, buying, flipping, selling, buying, flipping. The process is the process. You know, I don't expect the Giants to just come out here and just start flipping everybody. You got to be able to start somewhere, you know. It starts with selling. It starts with selling. It starts with selling. Let's see. What we got here? Stowers from Vandy. Who's Stowers? I haven't looked too much into this draft class yet, guys, but I'm really heavily looking to receivers. Just because we have, Tate and Leak would go crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I am not opposed to getting 2 receivers. Look what the Bengals have right now. I know eventually you'll have to pay guys like that, and that really takes a toll on your defense, like with the Bengals situation. But listen, if you want, but look at the Eagles right now. The Eagles have one of the best rosters in the NFL, and they have 2 of the best receivers in the NFL, 2 top 10 receivers in the NFL on their roster. They're able to manage it, and both those guys are paid. The Bengals are not well GM'd. That's why they have a terrible defense, and allocating all their money to their offense and losing games. The Eagles allocate a lot of money to their offense and still have a good defense because they draft well and they flip. They flip. I don't want to keep talking about it, but buy, sell, flip, or sell, buy, flip. Andrew Thomas retired Zadarius Smith. Andrew Thomas did that. That's why Andrew Thomas is untouchable. Guys, if you have a franchise quarterback, I know when you're trying to rebuild, you got to sell as much as you can. Andrew Thomas is off limits because of Jackson Dart. You cannot touch Andrew Thomas because of Jackson Dart. But everybody else, like, it's free game. Are we just going to Bengal? Get Carnell Tate, first round, lockdown, cornerback, third round, sign up safety and free agency. I don't know if you can find a lockdown corner in the third round. You may take a chance on one, and then he won't be one out the box. But, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, listen, the Giants heavily, they just need to draft well. And I really fear that Joe Shane's draft last year is going to buy him another year. And guys, just look at his track record. He better have hit on this last draft. It was a good draft, don't get me wrong. But he better have hit on this last draft. Because go look at the 2023 draft. Go look. That draft is freaking useless. It gets worse the deeper you get. We had Deontay Banks in the first round, JMS in the second round, Jalen Hyatt in the third round. By the way, all 3 of those guys, Giants fans wanted in the first round. Think about if we got JMS in the first round. Think about if we got Jalen Hyatt in the first round. Dear God. Dear God. Who was our 4th round pick in that draft? Theo? No, it wasn't Theo. Theo was 2024. I have to look for our 4th round pick. I'm bugging. I don't even think we had a 4th round pick. I know Javarius Owens, right? Trey Hawkins, Javarius Owens. 2023 Giants draft. Did we have a 4th rounder? Eric Gray. Oh my God, I forgot he even existed. No, Belly was 2022. Belly was his first draft. And I like Daniel Bellinger. I do like Daniel Bellinger. He's never used, though. I do like Daniel Bellinger. Eric freaking Gray, who is hurt right now, that is supposed to be making a comeback. Rest now. Rest now, Camp Scatterboo. We'll see you in Valhalla. We got this, says Eric Gray. Oh, my God. That guy runs slower than molasses, man. But what a piss-poor draft that was. Trey Hawkins, absolutely. He was giving the starting job. He was giving the starting job. Stop being annoying with Simone. Brother, we're rivals. I'm not supposed to be nice. I'm not nice to anybody. And we're cool. What are you talking about? She can handle herself. She's grown. He'll be even slower now. I know, coming off that injury. Tate or Tyson, neighbors with Dart. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. The only thing is that I don't want to... We have, like, what, 8 more games to go? We're going into week 10. So, yeah. 8 more... the Giants are 2-7. 9. 8 more games to go. The Giants have 17 games. 8 more games to go. I don't want Jackson Dart for 8 more games. For 8 more games to have to move down the field with those weapons. You don't even know who's going to get hurt. Who else is going to get hurt? Next thing you know, Theo Johnson goes down. Boom. The player who has 5 touchdowns from Jackson Dart, gone. Then you use Daniel Bellinger. Like, our depth is so terrible, man. We are another injury from just being just the worst offense in the NFL. I'm really shocked that Jackson Dart is doing what he is doing with the players that he has. I'm really shocked about that. That does not mean I'm going to say, hey, Jackson, suck it up. I need you to go beat Tom Brady as a rookie. I can't. With a week 14 bye, I know. 1-7 in those games if we play hard. Yeah, if we just give it our all, guys, maybe we could win a game. Because he's a demon. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's look at why Russell Wilson finally left. Why Russell Wilson hated his time at Seattle. Right? He always has. He always loved Seattle. He had love for it. He wanted to stay, and he stood longer than he should have. But look what happened after that breakup. Why did he leave? Because he was never provided talent around him. Right? Sure, he had DK. The receivers were there. For him, his problem was the offensive line. Right? His issue was the offensive line. Constantly, the Seattle Seahawks had the worst offensive lines in football, but they never gave him help, and they allowed him to run for his life just because he was capable of doing it. They said, Russell, we're going to allow you to run for your life on every single play because you're capable of doing it. So we're just not going to adjust the offensive line. We're going to allocate those assets somewhere else. They're going to do the same thing to Jackson Dart. They're going to do the same thing to Jackson Dart, except with the receivers. Hey, you're finding a way. You're finding a way to throw, to have 15 total touchdowns. I guess you don't need receivers. Fuck it. Fuck it. Here's Ray McLeod starting for you. Are you guys kidding me? Are we kidding right now? Perfect. Demon doesn't last forever, and losing can change your attitude first and foremost. Long while so you can not having reliable weapons. Why can't I speak? But absolutely, that hot streak can only last you so long. Look at Jaden Daniels right now. Look at Jaden Daniels with Washington. That magic that they had in Washington last season. Where is it? Injuries happen. Lack of depth. Right? The Commanders are the oldest team in the NFL by far. Their average for age of starting players is terrible. And look what it's doing to them. They had their players go down. They don't have good talent for backups, and they're terrible. That receiving core, terrible without Terry McLaurin. And Debo is just not good enough to stay as a number one receiver. He's just not. Debo is just not a number one receiver. But look at Jaden Daniels needs help. Jaden Daniels was a demon last season. He was able to make do with whatever he had. He had a worse offensive line last season and was doing more. Now he has a better offensive line and they're worse. That hot streak only lasts you so long. You can't expect Daniel Jones. You can't expect Jackson Dart to just constantly throw and run in for touchdowns with those weapons. You can't expect him to. Now Russ is what? Yeah, because he waited too long. He should have left a long time ago. Russell Wilson should have left in 2020 when he wanted 2019 actually, when he was about to request a trade, and there was a lot of talks about him coming to the Giants back in 2019. There was talks about Russell Wilson coming to the Giants in 2019 because he wanted out, and Sierra wanted to come to New York, and he stood because he loves the Seahawks. He loved the organization. Oh, a lot of people are talking about Kayvon. I'm surprised I didn't talk about this yet with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon, I wouldn't want to trade him. I made a whole video about Kayvon Thibodeau. You guys can check it out. I wouldn't want to trade Kayvon Thibodeau because he provides a key role to this defense, right? He is that run-stopping edge that the Giants don't have right now, and he has pass rush ability. And I just don't think Abdul Carter is there yet to be a full-time pass rusher. I know he leads the team in pressures right now, which is great. That's fantastic. He's not there yet to be a full-time pass rusher because he's just not good enough versus the run. Not as good as Kayvon. Abdul Carter doesn't demand. If Abdul Carter was getting sacks, then maybe he would start getting some reps over Kayvon. But if you're not going to get sacks and just purely pressures, well, we're just going to leave Kayvon in there because he's a really good edge setter. I wouldn't want to trade Kayvon. If we trade Kayvon, he's going to be an all-pro. Yeah, that's the fear, right? You trade anybody, they're going to be all-pro. And I see a future with Kayvon Thibodeau. I would like to re-sign Kayvon, and I don't think he would cost a lot, especially if his sack numbers are low. If his sack numbers are like 5 a season, he's not going to demand a lot of money. You'll trade him maybe you'll pay him maybe $10 million a year, 10, 12, $13 million a year, and you keep him around as your edge setting defensive end that could also rush the passer. You know, he's had a season where he had 11.5 sacks. He's getting better every year. Absolutely. He bulked up. He's more of a all-around pass rusher now. So I like Kayvon. I want to keep him around. So I didn't want to trade him. He's not untouchable. I'm not going to put him in the untouchable category, but he's a guy that I don't want to trade. How would they going to trade? Man, trading Shane Bowen, we would have to pay to trade him. I don't think anybody would want to trade Shane Bowen. Terrible defense. Absolutely terrible. I don't know what's going to happen. But it can't remain like this. It can't remain like this. There's just no reason why. It's one thing being okay with the Giants being stagnant because of the state of the roster. It's another thing where why is this roster in this state right now? Why? It's been 4 years. What reason do the Giants have of having the state of this roster like this that it forces you not to be active by the trade deadline? The Cowboys are making moves. They have one more win than us. The Cowboys are making moves. They have one more win than us. They still believe they can do something. Why are we already down and out? You know? I'd trade for Mike Tomlin. I want a good head. Like Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, man. I want one of those guys. I don't think Mike Tomlin will get fired yet. I think John Harbaugh is writing writing's on the wall for him to get fired. I think his time is coming soon. So I would take John Harbaugh right now. Dart is going to get hurt carrying the team. That's what I'm saying too, Jay. That's exactly what I'm saying too. Is like everybody's talking about these 15 touchdowns from Jackson Dart, and you're not realizing that he is literally putting his body on the line to get into the end zone. Not sustainable. If he had good... I'm going to start ranting again. I don't want to start yelling. But if he had good receivers, guys that can get open off the snap and off their breaks, he wouldn't need to put his body on the line for an extra yard. It would make it easier for your quarterback. I don't care if he's just a rental. Use a 6th-round pick for a rental. I don't give a damn. You're gonna fuck around and get your quarterback hurt. Give him some talent. Hell no, Cliff Kingsbury. Steven, what are you saying? Look, Washington's already pissed with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is never is never consistently good. Cliff Kingsbury is always good in his first year as a coach. Whether it be a head coach or an offensive coordinator, wherever he goes, always good because his offense could be very explosive, right? Air raid offenses, throwing deep downfield, creating separation. But for some reason, he's always figured out. Look at that offense right now at Washington. It's not good. Not good. Ramdre, I'm blaming McFadden for everything. I'll be doing my boy like that, man. I'll be doing my boy like that. But, throw in your last question, comments, and concerns, guys. Got a consistent 230 people in here this entire time. So appreciate you guys for joining in. Throw in your last question, comments, and concerns. We're gonna wrap this up in about 5-10 minutes or so. I wanna get refreshed enough, and then we got 2 more live streams to do. We're hitting 3 live streams today, guys. This live stream, we've got the NFC East Roundtable. Make sure you guys check the description and follow them. So we'll be live at 6 p.m. today, so in about 33 minutes from now. And then we also have the Young Guns podcast on Cush's channel, The Hub, at 8:35 p.m. I don't have that linked, but you guys just type in The Hub Giants, and you guys should have already been subscribed to him. But that's where we do the Young Guns podcast at. We need Antonio Pierce as at DC. He hasn't done anything for me to say that. I need to see a scheme from him first. He was just a linebackers coach that got promoted to head coach, and he was in way over his head. I like AP, but he hasn't done enough for me to say give him DC. I want experience, guys. I'm done giving first year chances to people. I don't want to do that. John Gruden and Derek. I don't want John Gruden. I think John Gruden is one of the most overrated coaches in NFL history. He has done nothing. He won that Super Bowl with the previous regime, with Tony Dungy's team. He won that Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team. But he's a Super Bowl champion. But I think John Gruden is the most overrated coach in NFL history. Jesse Green, what's up, man? Kid Blue, you still rocking the drums? Absolutely. I'm playing this week. I'm playing this week at my church. So I gotta go practice tonight too. Just got out of class. CJ and High and Evan Neal still on my team. I know, man. I don't know. You could watch this all back, Jaden. I've been live for an hour now, but I've been ranting about how we couldn't even pick up the phone and trade somebody like Deontay Banks or Hyatt or something, someone that can garner some value, or we didn't even pick up, bro. Adonai Mitchell, as talented Adonai Mitchell is, he was traded as a freaking deal sweetener, and he's the guy I wanted. And he was traded as a deal sweetener. My alarm. A cherry on top for Sauce Gardner. I'm saying, Jaden. The Colts traded 2 first-round picks and said, "Yo, AD Mitchell, AD, go with him because we need something to sweeten up the deal." They had to sweeten up the deal. And they already traded 2 first-round picks. That's how valueless AD Mitchell was. AD Mitchell could have gone for a bag of chips. That's how small they thought of AD Mitchell. They already overpaid for Sauce Gardner. They just threw in a cherry on top. 2 first-round picks is nuts. But he is still in his rookie contract. I guess that garners of 2 firsts. Maybe, sure. But still. AD got traded next to the Cavs. I'm pissed that we didn't trade for Myers and I'm a little hesitant on the 4th-round picks. I'm a little hesitant on it. Now, Shaheed would be somebody I would think about giving a 4th-round pick to, just because you're not going to be paying him a lot of money, and he's a guy that's a deep threat and could be a big playmaker. Now, when it comes to Jacoby Myers, he's gonna already demand like $14 million because he's on a lot. You have to pay him after this year. So he's already gonna demand money, and I don't want to trade a 4th for that. I would trade a 4th for Shaheed. I would have traded a 4th for Shaheed, but maybe they just didn't, because Shaheed is another burner. Like, it's obvious the Giants don't have a place for a burner on this roster. Like, they don't game plan for a burner. Otherwise, Jalen Hyatt would have been getting a lot more reps. They just don't game plan for speedsters downfield. It's not in Brian Dable's scheme. They like a lot of in-breaking routes, small route combinations, West Coast offense stuff, quick throws and stuff like that. Don't think that they would have took Shaheed. I don't think he fits, but I like him. KB, it's funny how every draft you get pissed at the Eagles trading for A.J. Brown. Yeah, I know. This guy, I want my team to be that, bro. No Tariq Woolen, no Waddle, no. I didn't even know Tariq Woolen was on the trade block. I would have traded for him. No Cup. I'm not gonna trade for Cup. He's too old. At this point, let's reunite with Hodgins. I mean, yeah, do something. Do something. Ray McCloud. Is this the best you can do? Was Ray freaking Cloud? I seriously thought the Jets were trading everyone. Garrett Wilson was going to be... I thought Garrett Wilson was going to be traded. I don't know about necessarily being a Giant, but I thought he was going to be traded. They're going to keep him around. I think it's probably for a potential franchise quarterback. Probably because they're thinking about getting a quarterback and you need someone to throw to. And they have A.D. Mitchell now too. Burners is not the issue. Need someone that could catch. You're right. You're right about that too. 5'9" Ray. I know. I want OBJ. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind OBJ at this point. I mean, not that he's going to be really a game changer, but I think it would just be more for nostalgia's sake and just be more excited for the season. Have something to watch and look forward to, but that's pretty much it. We need a tall big receiver, I think you mean. Sign Odell first 3 years. And, whoa, now it's to a 3-year deal. The dude's like 31 years old. I'm not signing to a 3-year deal. But free agents can't sign multi-year contracts. Free agents can only sign veteran minimum contracts. So if Odell signs this year, or if he's picked up by any team at any point of the year, it's only a 1-year deal until this year is over. You can't sign a multi-year contract during the NFL season. Unless you're being extended. It's the difference. I didn't know that, honestly. Yeah. Steven said 3-year deal for OBJ. I want you fired already. Oh, that's funny. At least Ray caught his one target. I know. Yeah. It's crazy. We got Gunnar Olszewski at the end of the game out there for the Giants, and somehow Giants fans are saying we don't need receiver help. We got Bo Collins out there getting thrown to in crunch time down the field against the Denver Broncos in a game that meant a lot. We got Jackson Dart in the last 2 minutes of the game with receivers like Jalen Hyatt and Bo Collins and Lil Jordan Humphrey out there. Give me a fucking break. Who's scared of that? Who's scared of those receivers? Nobody. Cowboys fans think getting Logan Wilson and Quinn Williams means they're back. They're not back. They got problems in the back end. They have problems with their secondary. That's where they should have gotten some help. That if they traded for Sauce Gardner, I would have cried. I know. Our punt returner is catching passes. We have zero help. Bring back Victor Cruz. He'd be more productive than Slade. I know. All right, guys. Shout out to everybody that came in here. I gotta wash up a little bit. I just came out of work, and then I gotta get ready to go live. So for the NFC's roundtable. So make sure you guys join in for that. Thank you guys for joining in. Just wanted to quickly go live and talk about this trade deadline. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We will see you guys in a couple of minutes, 30 minutes or so. Make sure you guys join.